Chesney. I'm the youngest of the group. I'm a Libra, and I come from London.
Hi, I'm Natalie. I was born in Canada. I'm raised in England.
Hi, I'm Nikki. I'm Natalie's sister, and I'm a Sagittarius.
Hi, I'm Melanie. I'm half French, and I'm an Aries.
They were one of the biggest UK pop groups of the late 90s, not at all like those other girls that they were constantly being compared to. But just as quickly as they rose to the top, major internal issues caused everything to come crashing down. English-Canadian girl group All Saints formed in London, England in 1993 as a 3-member group consisting of Melanie Blatt, Shaznay Lewis, and Simone Rainford. Originally, they went by the name All Saints 1975, after the name of the street where their recording studio resided, as well as the year of their births. Melanie and Shaznay actually first met in that very studio and started their careers doing session work for other artists. It was also there that they would meet the 3rd member of their group, Simone Rainford. They released a promotional single called Silver Shadow in 1994 that didn't make much of a splash on the charts, but got them enough attention to secure a record deal. Then, things went all the way left. One day, Melanie and Shaznay were talking to their A&R rep, and Simone overheard everything that they were saying, as well as her name being brought up repeatedly. She ran downstairs to confront them, and an intense argument ensued. Simone was so livid that she tried, but failed, to take the fire extinguisher off the wall so she could hose everyone down with it. According to her, she tried to make things work, but had come to the conclusion that leaving the group was the best thing to do. The remaining members were then dropped from their label. After not seeing her for many years since they both attended the Sylvia Young Theatre School, Melanie reconnected with old friend Nicole Appleton. When both her and Shaznay heard her sing, they knew she would be a perfect addition to the group. With Simone gone, the girls decided that Nicole's older sister Natalie should also join to make them a foursome again. They had to persuade her since she was initially more interested in being their manager. Another reason why she was turned off from wanting to become an official member was because she didn't want to leave her young daughter behind while they traveled the world. Natalie finally did decide to give it a try after her parents stepped in to help. In 1996, the group signed to London Records under their shortened name. In the summer of '97, the group's debut single, I Know Where It's At, dropped. It reached the top 5 on the UK singles chart and the top 40 on the US Billboard Hot 100. 2 weeks before their self-titled debut album was released, their second single, called Never Ever, put them on the world map.
Never, ever, ever, ever felt so low. When you gonna take me out of this black hole?
It was written by Shaznay about the breakup with her boyfriend. She would be the band's secret weapon, penning many of the group's hits. It grabbed the #1 spot in the UK, Australia, New Zealand, and Scotland, and became a top 5 hit in the US. It also went double platinum in the UK alone, and won the group 2 Brit Awards. That album, released in November 1997, went on to become the UK's 3rd best-selling girl group album of all time. The women captured the attention and admiration of their fans by simply being what they encouraged everyone else to be, themselves. Their typical uniform of simple tops, combat trousers, and trainers gave them a very down-to-earth, girl-next-door look and vibe that many young people could relate to. Just as their career was taking off, Melanie became a mom for the first time, giving birth to a daughter with Stuart Zender, former bass player for British funk band Jamiroquai. In the year 2000, All Saints released 2 singles that once again became #1 hits off their second album, Saints and Sinners, Pure Shores, and Black Coffee. The project became their first UK #1 album and went double platinum. It's a good thing that the ladies were experiencing such great success with their music, since some of their outside projects left much to be desired. The same year the group's sophomore album dropped, the Appleton sisters and Melanie made their big screen debut in the black comedy crime film Honest. Even though the sisters, not surprisingly, received a lot of attention for their topless scenes, the film as a whole was widely panned, some going so far as to label it as one of the worst movies of all time. In the early part of the following year, the group announced that they were going to take a break. In reality, that break was actually a breakup. Later, it would be revealed that there were a lot of issues going on at the time between the members. In a 2016 interview with British comedian, writer, and broadcaster Alan Carr on his comedy chat show, Melanie let it all hang out. "We just weren't really getting on anymore, and we kind of hated each other, so we just thought, F it, let's stop." As crazy as it sounds, the catalyst for the breakup would center around a disagreement over who would wear a specific jacket for a photo shoot. Natalie and Nicole naturally banded together and wrote and recorded their own album under the name Appleton, titled Everything's Eventual. In September 2002, they dropped their first single called Fantasy. It was a hit, making it all the way to number 2 on the UK chart. They also released their autobiography titled Together, which included a lot of shocking information about the dysfunction and rivalry between the All Saints members. One heartbreaking revelation was Nicole being forced to abort then-fiancé UK singer Robbie Williams' baby due to pressure from her record company to keep the band's momentum going. After a brief marriage several years before All Saints' initial success, Natalie would get a second chance at love when she married Liam Howlett, co-founder of British electronic band The Prodigy. They would go on to have one son. Shaznay released her first solo single, the top 10 hit Never Felt Like This Before, in July 2004. Her solo debut album, titled Open, followed a couple of weeks later. She enjoyed some time on the big screen as well in a couple of projects, most notably the 2002 romantic comedy sports film, Bend It Like Beckham. Melanie also tried to make a go of a solo career in 2003, but after her debut solo single dropped called Do Me Wrong, she was dropped by her label. A couple of years later, she was back with new material. The project, though, ended up being shelved after a more enticing opportunity was put on the table. All Saints were back. The group signed a new deal with a new label and released their third album, Studio One, in 2006. The reunion, however, didn't last long, and shortly after, they parted ways with their label and canceled a planned UK tour. Once again, the pressure got to them. They signed a deal before a single song was written and just felt rushed to put something together quickly. Melanie even admitted later that she wasn't interested in the reunion for the right reasons. She really only did it for the money. All Saints wouldn't be heard from again for nearly a decade. Over the years, they would all experience many highs and lows, professionally and personally. Melanie, Nicole, and Natalie all dabbled in the world of reality TV. After being together for many years, and apparently married at some point, Melanie would split with her baby daddy in 2006. Shaznay continued writing for other artists, and she also found love. She married dancer Christian Storm Horsfall in 2004. They now have 2 children. Nicole and UK rock band Oasis frontman Liam Gallagher would marry in 2008 after an 8-year-long courtship. They would divorce in 2014 due to Liam's infidelity. That also resulted in him having a child within the marriage. Nicole would move on and bounce back in 2020 with the birth of her second child with Facebook executive Stephen Haynes. They would marry in October 2021. Sadly, in 2013, news would break about the death of original All Saints member Simone Rainford after a tough battle with kidney cancer. She was 38 years old. Despite a bold proclamation from Melanie back in 2009 that the group was never getting back together, All Saints did make a surprise comeback of sorts in 2014 when they went on tour in support of American boy band Backstreet Boys. Touring was something the group didn't get to do back in the day, so this was a great opportunity to have that experience and reconnect with fans. This time around, the reunion stuck and eventually resulted in the creation of new music. All Saints released their first album in a decade, titled Red Flag, in 2016. As the ladies made their return to the music scene, they were naturally expected to make the rounds to promote themselves and their new project. They also took the opportunity to highlight some not-so-pleasant experiences they had during their journey to stardom. One particularly uncomfortable moment was during the taping of the British music chart television show, Top of the Pops. The group was told by the patriarchal powers that be to remove their shirts. To reinforce just how pertinent it was that they comply, They were told that they wouldn't be allowed to perform if they refused. They ultimately compromised by pulling their tops down to armpit level to give the illusion of nudity when filmed from the shoulders up, but were still labeled as difficult. Their latest effort, their 5th studio album, Testament, was released in 2018. Amazing opportunities continue to abound for the group, and most recently resulted in a collaboration in 2020 with Police frontman Sting on a new version of his band's 1979 hit, Message in a Bottle. 7 years after their last reunion, All Saints show no signs of dissension in the ranks or slowing down their active touring schedule. Growth, understanding, and respect all seem to have played significant roles in helping the foursome maintain their obvious unbreakable bond. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and comment. Also, don't forget to subscribe and turn on your notifications so you won't miss any future videos. See you next time!